Namaste Starlights. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Camilla and I'm a human. I'm a licensed professional counselor and I'm a certified spiritual coach. And as always, I like to start off by breathing, just taking some breaths. So we're gonna take 3 breaths, and if you need to take a breath, feel free to come join me. All right, so thank you for taking that breath with me, and as always, setting an intention for today's video. And today the intention is going to be about being our authentic selves, right? I think that's an important topic to discuss. So may you be able to be your authentic self. And we're gonna go ahead and dive in. So the topic for this video came to mind since it's been about a month since I've been actively creating content on social media. And for me, I've had a strong desire to make content for a few years now. And so the camera that I'm recording on actually is a Canon EOS, and I brought this camera a few years ago. I think it was like 2021, and I'm now more so actively using it than I have before. So it's kind of just been sitting around and waiting a little bit. But yeah, starting my content creation journey consistently has been eye-opening for so many reasons. And I think one of the things that, once again, I think about is, how do I show up as my authentic self on the camera, right? In front of you guys who are watching. What is my goal, right? And by doing this. And for me, wanting to start making content, a large part was wanting to share my story. So I've been through some things in life, like I think a lot of us have. And for me, I've always come from a perspective of being a helper and wanting to take what I've been through to help other people. It's, to me, the thought process of, I don't want the things that I've gone through, the things I've learned, to just be pushed off to the side, right? And so finally, with leaving my job at the end of last year and going full-time with my private practice at the start of this year, I get to do what I want. Because that was one of the reasons too, was just working for someone else. And being a mental health therapist, it's a little bit tricky, right? Because once again, I'm a therapist, and there is this notion of, you know, being a blank slate, which I don't necessarily agree with. And, you know, it was kind of like in the employee handbook that we should keep our social media private. And I just kind of erred on the side of caution, and I posted a little bit of content, but not as much as I'm doing now, in which now I can talk about, you know, political beliefs. I can, you know, really put myself out there, and I'm in the process of figuring out how to best do that. And it's scary, like it's really scary to just kind of be out there, like on the internet for people to see. And it's also exhilarating at the same time. And right now I have 39 followers on YouTube that I'm very grateful for. And, you know, in my brain, it's like the fact that 39 people want to watch me is very like mind blowing to me. And, you know, it's like I'm proud of taking the steps to kind of get here and to this point, and hopefully it can only go up from here, right? Yeah, so it's just been figuring out how to put myself out there. And as you could see, even now in front of the camera, I stumble around my words a little bit. Sometimes I backtrack, I have a slight stutter, and all of these things do make me self-conscious in front of the camera, but it also is what makes me human, right? I do minimal editing on my videos, and part of it is because I don't want to edit out the humanness of it, the ums and the likes, which I'm trying to not do as much, but it's just what makes me me. And I don't want to get rid of that. I don't want to edit out my authenticity just for views, right? My goal is to bring my authentic self and make other people feel seen and feel understood and feel relatable. And I think that's for anyone making content too, right? I mean, if you're watching this, maybe you're similar to me and you've wanted to make content for a while and you just haven't done so. Maybe you're nervous of putting yourself out there or nervous about what people think. I would say, just do it. Just do it, right? My experience has been mostly positive, and I've made some good connections with people, and like the comments I receive have just been really, I don't know, just like comforting and heartwarming, and it only makes me wish I'd done this sooner, right? It's a healing to think about how you can put yourself out there and people accept it. And now, I mean, it's not true for everyone. Some people who make content will put on, you know, an act, right? And that's kind of part of the whole thing. But I think for the people who just kind of post vlogs and talk about themselves, there is that fear of rejection. And I definitely feel that at times. I received a comment a few weeks ago from someone on one of my videos, and this was on YouTube. I don't remember which video it was. And it said something about like how I was boring. And I'm a highly sensitive person, and so I kind of internalized that a little bit, and I thought about that a little bit, and I realized that that was my own insecurity being reflected back onto me, that I do think I'm a little boring sometimes. Like, my videos are sit down videos. I don't have getting ready with me videos. I don't have like vlogs of me out and about in the city, because there's really not a lot here that where I live that I'm interested in doing necessarily, but I digress. That comment really, it kind of hit. It hurt. It hurt to hear someone say that. First, it's like, well, I mean, thank you for taking the time to tell me that, right? But yeah, it's when you make content, you have to do a lot of reflection and work, and also be prepared for those type of comments. And as someone who is highly sensitive, it is scary when I see and look at the like-dislike ratio on my YouTube videos and I see the dislikes, my heart sinks, right? I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? Like, why didn't they like this? But then I have to tell myself, that's okay. Once again, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone's gonna like me or my content. And I see that I get more likes than dislikes. And so I know that my voice, my content, what I'm saying is getting out there to the right people. And that's what matters. So once again, for me, the goal is to bring my authentic self onto the camera as much as I can. I do curse more in real life. I'm toning it down for social media. I gotta play around with it a little bit. Obviously, different social media companies handle things differently than others. Like TikTok, I think you can swear openly more and things like that. So playing around with that a little bit, and yeah, it's getting past the fear of showing up. And yeah, once again, it's really hard but also exhilarating. So I want you to ask yourself, Starlight, what makes you scared to put yourself out there? Do you think that people won't hear your story? Do you think that people won't care? Because there are people who will care, and there are people who want to hear your story. Don't keep your story to yourself. It deserves to be heard. It deserves to be celebrated. You deserve to be heard and celebrated, and to be seen. And I think that's been one of the most healing things about making content for me. And it's fun, and I get to interact with people and be silly and goofy, and it's just, once again, I only wish I'd done this sooner. So it's really kind of tested me, and how can I make sure I show up and honor myself in front of the camera. I don't want to put on an act. I don't want to pretend to be someone that I'm not. And that includes stuff like makeup. Like I wear makeup sometimes in my videos, and majority of the time I don't. And part of me still feels a little subconscious about it, because I know that attractiveness does get views, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just show up and be myself and share insights and, once again, my story, and connect with others. And so I'm not trying to get too caught up in looking good for the camera. I'm not trying to get too caught up in edits and trying to make things snazzy, and I'm not trying to get too caught up in filters and stuff like that. They're fun, but I want to just show up. I just want to show up and find the people who want to be part of my community. And so I'm grateful for you guys to be here. I'm so grateful. As I continue to build my community and my brand, I hope things will only get bigger and better from here. They will. They will get bigger and better from here. But once again, if this is something you want to do, if you've always wanted to make content, you can do it. You can do it. Just start off small, right? Once again, you deserve to be heard. And any negative comments you get, do some inner reflection. See where it's coming from. See why it does emotionally activate you. And then sometimes a troll is just a troll, right? You are going to get those people who are hateful and spiteful regardless. And that's always unfortunate. But to remember that the best thing you can do to honor yourself is to be yourself. And don't let anyone take that away from you. I'm looking forward to making more content, seeing what comes out of this. Honestly, a goal is to hopefully make this more of a thing, to maybe make passive income, once again, to build a brand. But I don't want to lose sight of having fun with it either. I don't want to start to feel the pressure of putting out videos every day and hitting certain numbers. I want this to just be me. So that's kind of what's been on my mind. And as always, Starlight, thank you for listening to my little ramble. And yeah, if you have like a YouTube channel or make content, feel free to drop it in the comments, or tell me if you want to start making content, or just anything else. But either way, once again, thank you for being here. And as always, Starlights, Namaste.